Hello guys, and welcome back to another weekly review of Trials of Osiris. We are on week 2 of Season of the Plunder, I believe. Wait, yeah, week 2 of Season of the Plunder. The second week, we have Freelance that has come out again. It was a very frustrating week for me, I would say. Not really. I had under 10 losses for the week in 31 cards, which isn't too bad. And honestly, I only lost like 3 games. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but on Monday it was just like hell on earth, unfortunately. Which is not a surprise, honestly, given that it is Freelance and a big majority of, like, I don't know, just there's more pools and it's always not a good time. And I'm very happy it wasn't the shotgun this week, because I do plan to do a 48 hour whenever the shotgun comes out again, and that will probably be my second 48 hour of the season for Trials, and then I'll do one at the end, or probably not one at the end, because I need to be able to be ready for next season. But I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I will do one at the end. Like, I'll do one Friday, Saturday, Sunday, go to bed, wake up, play Monday, and then I think at the beginning of new seasons, this is very off topic, not Trials in particular, but at the beginning of new seasons, I'm not really going to go like hard anymore. I'm going to do like 8 hours, because I can kind of space it out, and I really need to focus on like getting YouTube content out more at the beginning of the season as well. But anyway, onto this week's, onto more talk of this week. So to start, for the weekly first flawless of the week, we got second again. We were 2 minutes behind a guy that was solo queuing, unfortunately, this week, and then the team behind us was like 18 seconds behind us. So we're gonna get it eventually one of these weeks, I hope. It's been a while. I think I don't remember the last time we caught it. I'm trying to remember. I think it was a Distant Shore weekend, if I recall. It might have been Distant Shore Zone Control, potentially. I'm not 100% on that. I know it was Distant Shore because I remember the Operation Burger King fucking thing that Cal was doing. But it's been a minute, so we've gotten second and third a lot, though. Just not we haven't got lucky enough to get that first, unfortunately. So anyway, on to the weapons this week. No Time to Explain was the #1 used weapon. No surprise at all, as it is literally the best primary in the game. I personally, like, whenever I would match a RB or Lorenz team, I would put it on, because I don't want to use RB or Lorenz, but No Time to Explain, I'm perfectly fine with using. And honestly, I'm probably going to have to start getting acclimated to using Arbalist and Lorenz, because a lot of the time there's not really too much that I can do with a primary weapon when I'm getting, like, one tapped by people with RB and Lorenz while I'm, like, just nailing them in the head. And it's just, I don't know. It's really frustrating. I hate that people play that way, because you definitely don't have to play that way to win. Like, it's not a play style that's, like, as strong as, like, Omni or Wolves was last season, in my opinion. But it's definitely strong, but not as oppressive. Like, I don't think it's something that will be nerfed as quickly. Mind you, Lord of Wolves and Omni got nerfed it took quite a while. So I just hate that the meta is basically the same, as I've been saying for pretty much the entire time. Like, in terms of the meta, like I've been saying that it's literally the meta is pretty much exactly the same, but no Omni, or not as much like emphasis on Omni and Lord of Wolves, because Lord of Wolves is just horrible now. But the Arbalist and Lorenz are definitely still prevalent. You definitely are seeing more Khepri Sting. You'll probably see Falcons potentially. Probably Khepri Sting over that, though, because Khepri Sting gives you wall hacks for the trade-off of either your smoke bomb or your dodge, which can be on a pretty high cooldown. It can be like 14 seconds for the dodge and then like 30 on the smoke. So not looking too forward to that continuing to be the meta. Hopefully we see something like linear fusions, like Arbalist and Lorenz get moved to the heavy slot. I think Lorenz will probably be hit the hardest by that, but maybe not. I know Arbalist, honestly, it being a heavy weapon would not be that bad of an idea, in my opinion. I don't know. I hope that's something we see in the future, and I know Bungie is probably looking at how to nerf those things. I'd be very surprised if they weren't, how much people complain about it. And the thing is, too, is like, when you look at kill counts, or like just on the leaderboards for what is like doing the best, you don't even see Arbalist, you don't see Lorenz, you don't see those guns. The only sniper or any special weapon you even see in the top 10 is that it's like that's a sniper, or because that's basically what Lorenz is a fusion sniper, is Beloved. And other than that, in terms of special weapons, you see Main Ingredient and Wastelander. I'm not surprised by the Wastelander, as that is like one of the best pellet shotguns in the game, and it's also craftable, and it is also new. But it's something that, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't nerf just because of the usage, and that's one of the biggest things for them is like usage. And like I said, it's just very frustrating that that's going to be the case. Although, because usage doesn't always equal, you know, it being overpowered necessarily. Like it can be used very infrequently or not by a big majority of the community, but the reason that could be is because most people are ignorant to the fact that it is actually very good, or not necessarily informed on how to use it or what is the best way to use it. And I mean, that's kind of what we had with Lord of Wolves. Like, Lord of Wolves is something that's honestly, in my opinion, been a problem child for pretty much its entire lifespan up until now. Now it's finally balanced, but it took a very long time. And that gun went from being like one of the most overpowered guns in the entire Destiny 2 sandbox to being a still very strong gun, very like oppressive. And now it's finally balanced and is something that like has a very finite effective range. And if you're in that effective range, it does really well, but outside of it, it's absolutely horrendous. And I mean, that's good, but I just worry with these linear fusions I mean, linear fusions have been so good for so long, and the reason they're rising to the top is because they're nerfing everything else, and they're just the one thing that's like not being touched, I guess, more than everything else. So I mean, on top of that, in the department of like, speaking of snipers, you know, Defiance of Yasmin has 100 aim assist. You can craft that very easy to get a good roll. So I've seen some players that I know that are like, you know, the Omni Lord of Wolves, like Omni Rents. I've seen some of them arguing that they like snipers more and that they think they're better than linear fusions because linear fusions are getting nerfed more and snipers have more aim assist and take less flinch and stuff like that. So altogether, I don't know how you guys felt about this week. It wasn't too bad of a week. I feel like Midtown went better personally, but that's probably just because it was a freelance or not a freelance week. Freelance weeks are just horrendous if you're playing in a normal pool compared to like what it would be like normally. But I'm sure for the solo players, it's horrendous for them to have to play against full teams while they're solo. But I don't know. For me personally, I don't even think you should be able to queue up trials unless you are in a team. Or, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of the freelance. Never have been. I don't think I've ever done freelance on my own because I just don't see the point in like playing by myself when I could play with a team and like communicate and have like all of these tools at my disposal to, you know, be able to win the game rather than just limiting myself to like pretty much my weapons and positioning and stuff. I can like communicate with my team and coordinate, and it just irritates me to not be able to do that. So anyway, hopefully next week we get first, and I'm hoping next week isn't zone control either, because you're probably going to see a lot more Titans, a ton of Titans next week, or any week that is zone control. You're going to see tons of storm nades. Those are really good AoE nades, and you're going to see tons of bubble titans. So with shields, I think you might see the storm nades more frequently actually, because they have a lot of zoning potential, and also the shields are higher cooldown on Striker Titan. Like, it's like 10 seconds quicker on Striker Titan. So anyway, we'll make that the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.